GoPro, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing on this thing. All right, so it's a water liquid analyzer sample cabinet. We have all of the drains coming off of the analyzers. They're gonna have fast loops. They're gonna have, after they finish using the water sample, they spit it out. So we got drains, 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 drains. We got a TOC, we got a sodium, we got a silica. And that's all the ones that are just coming to here. Now I'll show you the liquid recovery system and what's kind of going on here. So everything is going to come off, and they should all come out of that cat right there. This one, that's coming out of the wall, and that's going to come over to here and come in here. Then we got our vent coming off of there. That's our vent. Drain to recovery system. So it's going to fill up this little cylinder with water. That's a level switch. So when you get a high, the water's going to come out of the bottom of it, come through that block valve, come over here to this air-operated pneumatic running pump. So air is going to fire that solenoid. Solenoid is going to turn that guy, pump, 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 pump. Then we got the air coming off of over here. This is the instrument air supply to the cabinet. Dual filters. Of course, you keep one blocked in. When that one gets dirty, you switch over to that one, change that one. Okay, anyway, air coming in. Sample inlet to all the analyzers there. We're going to come out of that sucker and it's going to spit it back out and shove it somewhere. I don't even know where it's shoving it back to. All right, so the liquid recovery system here, and we got inside of there. Use a quarter to do that, by the way. So you got these two relays. You need a fire for those solenoids, and that's those guys right there. You got to set the time. It's timer for this solenoid to keep that liquid recovery system going correctly. Chandler is tying all that stuff in right now. Oh, son of a bitch. This is cooling tower water. These are actually heat exchangers. So you bring our sample in. The sample's going to come and go through these, and the cooling tower water circulating around the sample, which is inside a coiled tube. And that coil of tubing is bringing our sample up and out. And that, after you cool it down before you send it over here to the total organic carbon, we're going to have sodium, and then we're going to have silica. These all analyzers, all these water analyzers require different chemicals to operate. So basically, so the TOC, let's go ahead and say the TOC, it has to have acid and base to be mixed in with the sample. The acid will attack the water. All of the total organic carbons will join with the acid and be forced into being CO2. The CO2 will travel up to a detector that measures only CO2, and the CO2 equivalent to total organic carbon as our output. All right, so just for instance, every single inject that this does, it has to inject a certain amount of sample, a certain amount of acid, mix them together in the reactor, and then it starts all over again. All right, they got little peristaltic pumps that do the exact same thing. So those are telling you what your levels are. Same thing for over there. We have to have those chemicals, we have to have that, and then there's our drains. As you can see, the water draining down into the drain and going out there. That is those are filters right there, and you'll pull that right there, pull the bottom part out to pull the strainer. Let's see, what else? That's about it for right this second. We had leaks in here. We're trying to get the water out of the building.